Hi, welcome to Sumery P. Today I've got a coconut layered cake topped with these cute little chocolates called Raffaellos, or they're the cousins of Ferrero Rocher. My cake is filled with raspberry jam and fluffy coconut icing. So if you'd like to see my coconut layered cake, come with me and let's see. Oh, I forgot to mention, it's a fabulous centerpiece for an alternative Christmas cake. So let's get mixing. So step one for your cake, pop your oven on. It's quite a low oven. I've got it on 150 degrees Celsius fan forced, or 170 if you don't have a fan. And then you want to prep your cake tins. So we're doing layered cakes. I've got 3 of these already prepped and I've greased them and lined them. If you don't have this, you can pop it in a 20 centimeter or 8-inch cake tin and you can cut it. Next step, we're going to prep our flour. So I'm using what's called cake flour in the USA. So I've got my Spelt flour, which is my favorite flour, or you can just swap it out for plain flour. So I've got 275 grams, plus I'm using 50 grams of corn flour, and that makes it super light and fluffy. So we're just going to sift those together. That's about 2.5 cups. Oh, before we go any further, I'm going to add just a pinch of salt to that, and I've got half a teaspoon of baking soda, or bicarbonate of soda as we call it here, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This is the hard part. I'm going to help it along with my whisk. Easier than bashing my hand on the side. Okay, that's all sifted. Now we're going to throw in our coconut, desiccated coconut, 50 grams, which is about 3/4 of a cup. Give it another whisk, so that can just wait aside for later on. Next we've got our butter. So I've got 170 grams of cubed softened butter, which is about 3/4 of a cup. And I'm just going to pop it in this stand mixer with the paddle attachment. So I've got 250 grams of caster sugar, which is going in there as well. It's roughly about 1.25 cups. We need to just give that a few more minutes. So next step, this cake only has egg whites and no egg yolks. So what we've got 5 egg whites. I'm just going to give those a little bit of a whisk, and then I'm going to add some coconut milk. So that's 1 cup, 240 or 250 mils. And then we've got some yogurt. We've got Greek yogurt, or you can use natural yogurt. Hopefully my container takes it all. That's half a cup, or 120 mils. It's a bit confusing because there's a slight difference between the UK cup measurements and Australian cup measurements versus America. That's why I always say about. But if you want to be accurate, always weigh with scales. And my liquid's going everywhere. All right, Sue, we'll just stop that there and we'll get to a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I should have poured this into the bowl. And that just got me everywhere. So we'll stop that. It just needed a little bit of a mix through. So now the next step, let's remove this, get that out of the way. So now we add the wet ingredients with our flour coconut mix. So we're going to use half of this, half of that, alternate until we're all finished and mixed. Now we just need to do this for a couple of minutes until it all starts to come together. And then grab your scales out, or you can do it by eye. We're going to weigh our batter into our cake tins. If you've got a really good eye, you probably don't need to. And don't forget, stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how I do my fluffy coconut icing and decorate it. I'm not a very advanced decorator, but this one is simple and fun, and it's a great one for Christmas coming up. It's only 6 weeks away, or it could be a great birthday cake. Okay, I think we're good. We're ready to do the pouring. And if you're new here today, consider subscribing. All you need to do is have a Google account and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and then you get notified as soon as I have a new video. And also, I have a new newsletter that I'm sending out with a few extra recipes that I don't do videos on, some other handy kitchen tips. It's called My Kitchen Love. So if you'd like to jump over to my website at sumeryp.com, and you can subscribe to receive my newsletter. I'm not doing it weekly, it's about twice a month that I'm sending that out. I don't want to bombard you with too much information. Okay, let's weigh these. So we want about 450. How's that one? First one, 442. Let's leave it at that. It's a good day. That's 442 as well. Who would have thought that would happen? Can I do the third one? 442, 442, 442. We're up to 400, so I need another 40 grams. Okay, I think we're okay. That's 433. It's only 10 grams. It's fine. So I'll pop these in our oven for 25 to 30 minutes. It's not very long. They're not too thick. And I'm going to check them at 25 with a skewer. And you might just want to keep an eye on them to make sure they're all even and all brown. So let's pop them in. Time is on. I'm going to clean up and then we'll check back on those. Back with our cakes. We've had them cooling on the bench. They're out of the oven. I had a bit of a disaster. One of them cracked as I was getting it out of the tin because I think I rushed it and got it out too early. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just going to patch it with some frosting. So I've got some cream cheese in here. So it's 250 grams of cream cheese, and I've got butter. So we've got 170 grams of butter, which is roughly about 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to pop that in with the cream cheese. And then we're going to grab some vanilla extract. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to mix that up first, and then we'll add the icing sugar. But before I add the icing sugar, I'm just going to add a little bit of coconut milk. I'm just going to grab it from the fridge. So this is 2 tablespoons of coconut milk. I'm just going to add half of it now. And then we've got some sifted icing sugar. We've got 360 grams. So I'm going to put half in first and mix that around. So it's a cream cheese, buttery, not too sweet icing. And the last little bit. So I have icing sugar flying everywhere. It needs a bit of a help. Let me just stop it. First step for the icing, we're going to repair the cracked one. As you can see here, we've got 2 halves. I'm just going to grab some of this frosting and put it in the middle. It's like I'm gluing it together. So this will become our base. Just before I go any further, I'm going to add just these 2 thin strips to the bottom, so then I can lift it up onto my turntable. I'm going to rest this in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then we'll ice the rest of the cake. So we're back with the final decoration. So usually I put raspberry jam only in the middle, but because I've repaired this, I might add a little bit of, no I won't. I'm just going to do raspberry jam. I was going to add a little bit of the icing. So what you could do, rewind. If you didn't want to just do raspberry jam, you can add some of the frosting in the layers too. But I always find it a little bit too sweet, so I'm just doing the jam. And then we'll put the next layer on. Oops. Make sure you remove the paper. I should have done this before we started filming. We don't need any more raspberry jam. That's it. So next, you can use a piping bag, but as I said before, I just want to show you a really simple way of doing a cake. So I'm just going to use my spatula, and we're just going to plop it on. And I'm just going to make a little kind of pattern. I think that's looking pretty good. Next thing, we've got our coconut. So that's another 50 grams, which is about 3/4 a cup. And I'm just sprinkling it over the top generously. And then to do the sides, we need to put it in our hands and just kind of double it on. But it's a bit messy, as you can see, and we might need more. I think I need more. So I'm going to get some more out. You almost need to throw it on so it sticks. All right, we're almost there. There's my coconut layered cake. Now we've got to top it with these Ferrero Rochers, which are Raffaellos, and then we can pop it in the fridge to set before we cut it. Looks like a big snowball. It's fun to make sure everyone gets a chocolate when you give them a slice. So there's a few left over. There you have it. Dirty hands. Let me clean them and then we'll do our wrap up. So The cake's all ready and I'm going to cut into it to do a taste test. I haven't actually popped it in the fridge yet, but I just want to show you what the layers look like. Drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. Check this out. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? All the lovely layers. So here we have it, my coconut layered cake, and let's tuck in or dive in for a taste test before it falls over. Actually, I'm going to just tip it on its side because it's about to fall. So I'll just... Yep, the coconut just went everywhere. Anyway, let's try it. It's a really moist, yummy cake, and the icing's not too sweet. I love the jam in the middle. Let me know in the comments below if you've liked my video today. Hit the thumbs up, share it with a friend, stick around because I'll add a few more videos that you might want to watch. And if you bake this, let me know how it goes, if you like it. And I'll see you next time. Bye, thanks for watching.